Despite having very few appearances in the story, Tserriednich is a candidate to be one of the best villains of Hunter x Hunter. This is an elegant, intelligent man with vast knowledge in different areas such as philosophy, sports and art. He also shows a great facility for socializing and has no difficulty fitting into the most luxurious environments. However, underneath all this there is a dense darkness. Tserriednich is a ruthless being, he is vile, he is excellent at manipulating or pressuring people if he wants to get something from them, and he has an inhuman taste in committing murders and turning the bodies of his victims into works of art. In this character we see a contrast between knowledge and elegance with a strong lack of empathy and a taste for violence. It is a good example that a better education or a broader culture does not ensure better ethics. We often forget this and give all the weight to increasing our knowledge, forgetting to improve our values. This character can change his mood and his way of treating people in a matter of seconds. He can be calm and polite one moment and in the next, be pure malice. Although he has to keep up appearances to a certain degree because he is a prince and a public figure, Tserriednich does not take too much care to hide his cruelty, especially with the people who work for him. The advantages of his enormous wealth and political position allow him to silence or ignore his criminal acts. He is a monster whom the very society and traditions of his people allow him to remain so. The prince carries within him a powerful ego. He considers himself superior to everyone, but it is not a simple question of having more money or status, for even his brothers and sisters, who are as rich and influential as he is, he sees as inferior and unworthy of the crown. The superiority in which he categorizes himself seems to be more a matter of his very existence, that is, he is considering the whole accumulation of characteristics that make him who he is, and this sum of traits puts him on a higher level than others. For the prince this cannot be surpassed either by money or by political rank. He is, in a way, the face of vanity itself. Whether or not it is true that he is as magnificent as he claims to be, what is proven is that the existence of this prince does not go unnoticed. This excessive arrogance also gives him courage and security in matters that others could not tolerate. For example, Tserriednich is not afraid of having to face to death his other brothers and sisters, even announced directly to the oldest prince that he would assassinate him to take the crown, even knowing that Prince Benjamin also has enormous political and physical power. Tserriednich is bold, although seeing that his courage stems from an exaggerated arrogance, perhaps that formidable courage will end up being his undoing. The interests of this character are varied, however he has shown a special liking for women. Tserriednich sees women as beings of beauty and worthy of artistic admiration, but completely ignores their value as humans. The women around him are materials with which he can create art or simply amuse himself. He has strict parameters of what a woman should be like and how much knowledge she should have, and anyone who falls outside of them he considers trash, even sees her as unworthy of being used as material for his artistic and bloodthirsty creations. This dark taste for women was reflected in his beast Nen, which has clear feminine traits combined with other of his perversions, such as a taste for human body parts. One thing that all the characters in the series who encountered Tserriednich and who have good instincts seem to agree on is that the prince causes a sense of menace and even terror, and they sense this even when the prince is being kind or polite. The evil qualities of this character emanate from his being without the need to commit evil acts. For the prince this condition of being a predator seems to be natural. He does not need to learn Nen, nor gain experience in hundreds of fights, to cause discomfort in Nen masters like Theta. And if we now add that he is learning this ability, and that he shows a ridiculous natural talent, we could be seeing the birth of one of the greatest threats to the human world of Hunter x Hunter. It is curious to see that, on the one hand, when Kurapika met the little prince he must protect and his honest mother, the hunter put aside his plans for revenge to make sure to keep them alive, while, in the other case, when the hunter Theta met the prince she must protect, Tserriednich, she put aside her job as a bodyguard to make sure to assassinate him. The prince's Nen mimics the properties of his personality, manifesting itself in a disturbing and malevolent manner. His talent for learning Nen is on par with Killua's and Gon's, or perhaps even better than theirs. Plus, as if this were not enough, he is a specialist and can develop skills without realizing it. The Nen beast that was given to him seems to be related to lies. The prince mentioned that he hates women who lie and that Nen beast detects people's lies. Moreover, it seems to bestow a curse to the one who lies. This combination of Nen abilities and his enormous potential make him among the most threatening characters on the ship, something that is not easy considering the people who go on that trip. His abilities are complex, especially that of seeing the future. But this fits well with the mind of this character. He has the wit to understand the potential, the advantages and disadvantages of his new ability at an incredible speed. Perhaps most frighteningly, Tserriednich seems to have fallen in love with the Nen in general. When he fell under Melody's musical ability, the prince, instead of looking annoyed at being victimized by the hunter, showed enormous joy at the whole vast world of new abilities that were being displayed in front of him. The impending clash between Kurapika and Tserriednich promises much. Tserriednich is his main enemy of this arc, even above the spiders, and is, as he said, the last monster he needs to kill. The characteristics of both generate a lot of anticipation. Both are highly intelligent, both have very big political influences, both are Nen geniuses, and both have overwhelming wills. I honestly don't know where this collision will end. On the one hand, I don't think the prince will get away with his inhuman acts, but, at the same time, I have a hard time imagining Kurapika coming out unscathed and with a happy ending. Be that as it may, the sheer anticipation of these two beasts crossing paths enhances the arc we are reading quite a bit. Another aspect that makes this character interesting is that little by little and casually we have realized that he is related to more people and organizations than it seemed at first. That is, he is not only one of the princes in the war for the crown, he is also a benefactor of one of the strongest factions of the mafia, giving him all kinds of connections with the underworld. For example, at some point he might meet the members of the Tserriednich, who are also on the ship. He also participates in the illegal black market purchase of human parts that takes place in the Hunter x Hunter world, and has an alliance with Prince Halkenberg of which we don't know the details. This last alliance between Tserriednich and Halkenberg seems particularly strange to me, since from what we have seen of Halkenberg, this prince has a strong moral code and is willing to risk his life for what he believes is right, and he also generates a deep trust and admiration in his followers without the need to force them. Something doesn't quite add up that these two very different princes get along so well. Maybe one of them still has something hidden about himself, or maybe it is one of those cases where, although two people have very different methods, they find respect for each other because of some characteristic in which they coincide, for example, a powerful determination. I'm definitely interested in learning more about this new villain. Hopefully the manga will be back soon. What do you think about this character? Leave me your opinion in the comments. I invite you to subscribe, and thank you for watching this video.